Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Mon Hambleton and welcome back to Building Habits. In this series, I'm going to teach you some fundamental habits to improve your chess game instantly. Starting as if I'm a complete beginner, I'm going to climb up the ranks using only these simple habits. However, to keep it realistic, I have to follow a strict set of rules to simulate what it's like playing at each level. Remember, the goal is not to win every single game, but to teach you fundamental, high percentage moves that are correct most of the time. As my rating rises, the habits will become more advanced and the limitations will start to fall off naturally.
In level 4, we want to focus on more specific concepts like knight versus bishop, how to play against weak pawns, and how to take advantage of weak squares. Try to avoid trading when you're down material, and most importantly, make sure you master all checkmating patterns.
Now, let's get into the chess and learn how to build good habits together.
Okay. Pawn into the center. What opening are we going to be blessed with today? Wow, the Scandinavian. Who'da thunk it? Now, we've played this against this before, and we thought, no problem. We'll just play d4, knight f3, right? We definitely don't want to play c4. But it was this move in particular that we faced a really tough line against. Looks like that's not going to happen here, so no worries. Goes here. And keep it nice and simple. We want to trade and castle. Snork up with h3 and rook e1. Okay, looks like we've done a little bit of everything. This bishop doesn't have a lot of places to go, if we're being completely honest here. Right? We kind of only have this one, so I guess it's gonna have to be. Okay, queen is attacked. Not too bothered by this, because we're guarding it with our queen. But important moment. Can't be allowing knight takes c2, so looks like unfortunately we have to do this. But maybe fortunately, who knows? Could be a blessing and a curse. Someone said, why h3? Oh my goodness. Send this guy back to level 1. Why h3? Well, hopefully my next move is not going to be complicated to understand, because we've talked about it. We don't put our knight on c3 anymore. We play c3 and knight on d2. And in this particular case, once again, it works out well. Rook to the middle here. And I'm not going to take that. Instead, that f-pawn actually made it into the center. Did you guys remember that? Don't forget, this pawn on d4 is actually the pawn from f2. So it's a pretty serious glow up, if I may say so myself. Okay, queen here. We've got the rooks in the middle. I mean, we can't really push any of the center pawns right now. And this is a great pawn chain against the bishop. We're snorked up. We've moved just about everything. I'm going to try to put a knight on e5 and just like trade. So yes, I might consider knight e5 right away, but I'm much more interested in doing so when I can avoid taking with the pawn. So yeah, if we could take with the... Oh, okay, well, let's make a trade there. Will our opponent allow us a trade here? I don't know. I don't know what kind of game he's trying to play. Okay, he is up for the trades in the center. Not bad. Takes. Well, I think pushing a center pawn does make the most sense here. We can double up, and of course, an endgame. We can bring pieces into the middle. Doubling the rooks, always good. Goes here. Bring the king in, and what do we have here? Opponent's trying to go rook e2. Rook e2. Any bright ideas? How about this? How about it? King over. Can we maybe get a trade? I'm looking to trade everything, and I know we haven't got this far yet, guys, but it is knight against bishop, right? So that means something for our game here. So we'll see how black continues, but if we imagine all the rooks disappearing, okay, we'll take here. I am threatening this pawn, so I wonder if we'll see rook here. No. Rook a8. I guess we'll continue bringing the pieces into the middle. Okay, this rook, what can we do? Rook over. I mean, I think we either stay in the center like this or we go over there. I'm gonna stay central. King into the middle. Okay, opponent goes g6. We don't mind playing g4 as well. It's gonna control a nice square here, but also, guys, does it need any more reminding? Look at this move from the opponent, g5. Not showing a very good understanding of the bishop against the knight, right? So now, I definitely like the knight. I don't even think I want to go here. But I do need to improve this thing. So where can I go? Let's try this one. I'm thinking of putting the knight on the f5 square. It's just a square that can't be attacked by any pawns anymore. Okay, this looks like a capture. Can we continue our mission? F5 looks like a beautiful square. Well, that's annoying. How do I defend this? Okay, didn't plan that. Could have planned it better, rather. Oh man, we have to play this move. Okay, this was bad planning. What about my knight here? This is brutal. Maybe we play a4 next. We're getting desperate. Trade the damn pieces. Like this, for example. Trade. Give me a trade. Hopefully you guys recognize that if a trade were to happen like this, that immediately our position becomes good. So I'm gonna go here to be ready to play this move, because I think even at the cost of a pawn, I'm interested in doing it just to make sure there's no pawn for him here. Like if we play this move right now, yes, we're probably not going to keep that. But what we are going to do is be able to focus only on this side of the board. This is where a knight does really well, when you're just like taking every pawn in sight, and all the pawns are on light squares, so I have nothing to worry about. And especially if I'm low on time, I'll definitely choose this because, you know, it's just so pre-movable. You can just like, you know, I can just like walk in here and take every single pawn, and I know that I'm not going to lose anymore. That's the power of just having all the pawns on light squares like this. And the general piece of advice, if you have a bishop on a dark square, you want to advance the pawns on dark squares and then use your pieces to control the rest. And then you can join the pawns up together again, and then you'd want to push on dark squares again, which means we'd need our knight here to cover some light squares like this. And then we can play king here, get a nice mating sequence like that. GG. If I'm playing against the bishop in an endgame, like this, the pawns are always going to be good on the opposite color of the bishop, right? It can't attack any of them. But if you ever have a situation where you have two pawns that are pushing against the bishop, then what happens if you advance the pawns on the light squares as you have been doing? What happens is you might still win the game, but it'll be a little tougher because the pieces can use those squares to blockade. So at the end, I would rather use the same color as the bishop because, well, I've got two pawns. Like, you can't stop me from using them. And then the other squares that you try to block my pawns on, well, I have a piece that can make you go away, and you don't have a piece that can help. So every time I put them on the same color as the bishop, I'm guaranteed to then even them out. And then I put it on the same color of the bishop, and then I'm guaranteed to even it out. Whereas if I put it like this, it's still possible, but you're definitely working a lot harder. Certainly not worth it because, yeah, black will be able to control with both of their pieces, and we only really have one that can help. And yes, if you didn't notice here, we were able to do this end part with all pre-moves. I feel that some people would get a little bit stressed here with the two pawns. You have to understand that you only are able to get one of them in to the finish line, and that this is stalemate. But it's great that this entire sequence is forced. This is forced. This is forced. This is forced. And then this is forced, and that's mate. And that will always work. Okay. This guy's, this is going to be a tough game. You can already tell. PFP like that. Jeez. Gotta watch out here. Big boss in the building. Whoa. D4. Oh, hang on a sec. Let's take that. Knight to G5. Now, hold on here. Wait, we've seen something like this before. 95 surely looks like the right idea. Into the center. The bishop's guarding the knight, so it's like extra tricky. You gotta remember, how do you handle this? The bishop goes back. Okay, do we just snork up here? I guess F4 is about to happen by the opponent, so you know, a little snork up, a little safety. No problem at all. No problem at all. Problem at all. Okay, there is a problem at all. Well, I'm not going forward, so I guess we got this. It's kind of clean from our buddy here. Well, let's get back to the habits. Get me the heck out of here. Get me the heck out of here. Okay. Bring our rook over. This isn't that bad, right? It could be worse. Check the center. Can't go there. I guess we've got knight d7. Yeah, it looks like the next most eligible move. Queen e4. I mean, rook to d8 is consistent. Bring the rooks into the middle. I was definitely in massive trouble after knight d5 there. Yeah, he goes knight d5 here. I think this one is a little bit more manageable. Takes. We can offer a trade here. Trade with me. Oof. Definitely smart of him not to trade, of course. But that doesn't make us happy. Take the pawn in the center. I'm playing a GM here, guys, so give me a break. I'm only a level 4 habits guy. Damn. Well, there's a trade there, so let's just go ahead and make that happen. What else do we have? We could offer a trade like this. I mean, we're not down a piece here. We're only down some pawns. if you're down material like an exchange, like a piece, I'm on board. You don't want to be trading. That's a good rule. But a couple pawns. Let's remember, these 1800s are the ones that hang their queens for free. So we're not, we can't be scared of him. Couple pawns. Any trades for me? Oh man, the GM is he's not willing to trade. Anything for me? Oh, a draw. You got it. Oh, okay, we're still repeating. Understood. So he's ready to avoid trading at all costs, even the cost of a pawn. He goes rook f1. Buddy's really I mean, he's really handed me these pawns here, left and right. Okay, bishop d4. That's a small issue, although we do have some moves that, I mean, at least guard the knight, right? That's all we need to guard. Make sure we don't lose any material. One thing we know about our opponent, he does not want to draw. We do know this. He goes h3. It's a great move by him. He's snorking up. You have to respect it. So what do? We move this pawn here. I'm wondering what the plan is. I'm just gonna go here. What the heck? Yeah, you can tell he's not here to draw. I'm here to draw. You want to draw? It's all good with me. But I have a feeling he's better than that. Queen g3. Just hang out around the center here. I'm waiting for the guy to take. Like, please make my life easier. Okay. I mean, we just have to push the pawn, I guess. Little tough here. Let Caesar win. Absolutely not. Caesar wants to win my piece. He's gonna have to trade with me. And I know the type of guy Caesar is, and Caesar is the type of guy to blunder his queen. He does not go for queen trades. So that's the case of playing the man. We understood the assignment. When it rains, it pours, Caesar. When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. That's all your pieces, Caesar. Every single one of them, gone. Every single one of them gone. Did you see that? You guys were saying, oh, it was me that was in trouble. It's actually your buddy Caesar. Right when the going got good for Caesar, it all came crumbling down. This looks like the move, but King h1, he saw the trickery maybe with knight f3. Then he hits us with it. Offer the ladder trade, but we know who we're playing here. We're playing Caesar. He only sees aggression, tactics, forward, no trades. Boom. What did I say? When it rains, it pours. The guy doesn't know how to handle himself now. He's just hanging everything. But that's the thing. He was afraid of going into the endgame a couple pawns up. Now look, you can always make the argument you're up material technically when you're up a couple pawns. I get it. But my interpretation is I still do not trust anyone in the endgame. I trust us. I like our endgame habits. I put them over anyone. People don't have a clue what to do in the endgame under 2000. This is a fact. Well, we definitely got a higher rated opponent than us. I believe our first 2000 ELO in the entire series. So Caro-Kann, it's funny, you have to try to remember like what lines are we even playing, because it's been so long since we've seen a Caro-Kann. So bishop f5, we want to retreat the knight to g3, bishop g6. We've played all of these lines before, so it really is just make sure we remember that.
When h4 happens, almost everyone plays h6, and then knight e5 because we want to hit the bishop. Again, seeing this move, like everyone's going to play bishop h7, and when you play queen h5, you know, you don't have to be as risky as me, but I like to preface it with a quick bishop to c4, a pre-moved bishop c4. I mean, it's possible he just blunders mate with knight f6, but I'm hoping that he's going to find the correct move, g6. He does find it. He's 2000, so I don't think he's going to bite the same way I would expect a 1000 to bite on g takes h5, especially after taking so long. And so we finally get to see someone at a higher level navigate this position, and he's done a good job so far, like e6. But now our queen's for real under attack. So we need to get the hell out of there, right? The queen is now legitimately threatened. The guy plays bishop g7, but unfortunately, what he's not doing is accounting for our next tactic. Queen e2 simply renews a new threat, and already the game is in hand. Like it's completely done, right? We just crushed the guy with multiple tactics. He didn't see a single one coming. This is a 2000, and he's playing the Caro-Kann like he's never seen this before. We get to take. We also get to trade the queens after winning material. I mean, this is should be a very, very easy win. Let's see if it actually is. The knight comes out to f6. I mean, let's get our king to safety. I think that's pretty fair. We obviously want to get a pawn into the middle. Goes for knight to a6. Yeah, I think we'll just get that pawn up there. Attacks the bishop. Well, let's retreat and make sure we stay attacking the center here. Castles, we can develop our bishop and also take a pawn, but you know, I'm going to put some value in my center pawn here and just play it slow. Rook e1, get the bishop out after. You know, I respect my own center pawn here. Knight d5, and okay, we'll take that. We have two easy moves to play next. And make sure to look at the material. We got 3 pawns plus a rook for 1 knight. That looks pretty good. And these bishops look pretty bad here. Both of them look, shall we say, unremarkable. Rook e8. Maybe double the rooks. Double up here. It is the end game. We have a lot of pieces. A little tough to bring my king to the middle now that I've just done that, but okay. There's going to be a lot of trades here, and even though we don't need to trade this, I think at this point we're so deep into the end game that any single trade that I can manage will be a smart trade to do. That's just the truth. So, for example, knight f6 here, I don't care. I'm taking it. Bishop f6, I'm taking it. And if you need assistance winning this position, then I don't know what to tell you. We're going to take, and he's going to enjoy his last trick of the game. You know, I don't need to take this, but I feel like we need to give him the satisfaction of g5. Well, if you're able to play a game this great with white and you lose to the move g5, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Bishop b1. Okay. And push it as far as we can, of course. And once we put all of our pieces on dark squares here, for example, rook g5, f4, and g3, and last but not least, our king. Well, all I can say is good luck to the opponent here. I mean, this looks impossible. Yeah, this is should be a fairly easy position. Let's make a queen here. Oh, he moved the piece out of the way. We'll make a queen. Go ahead and take this. And I credit our 2000 opponent for not resigning. Let's build the ladder properly with these two pieces, right? We have the queen and the rook, which means the rook should be closer to the king for an optimal ladder. This is what a 2000 looks like, but he only looks vulnerable here because of our opening. I promise you, you guys queue up in the pool against this guy, he will absolutely destroy you. I can guarantee it. But we got him with our opening. GG. And that's 1951. This is the Caro-Kann. A lot of people play this captures and bishop f5 line. It's not good. It's especially not good, almost just significantly worse after this. Basically what's happening here is people think that they're playing this line, which is the main line of the entire opening. They think they're playing this, but then all of a sudden this knight transports to e5 and they're like, what? They don't realize that you've tricked them. So look at our variation and notice the big difference. Instead of pawn there, I have my knight here. It's the same thing, except instead of pawn there, I've got these two knight moves. So white's already much better here. This is already a huge problem, terrible position. Queen d6, I think, is the best move, but still, losing the bishop after making an escape square for it doesn't make sense. So of course you're going to go here. Queen h5, there's only one move on the board. So we pre-move bishop c4. Now some lower rated players have taken and we just get a nice quick KO like that. He's strong enough, he's not going to do that, but that's okay. This isn't a gimmick. We don't do this just in case it works and is bad otherwise. No, it's still fantastic. We just bring our queen back. And at this point, black has to move their queen. None of these moves make sense. If I'm playing black here and I just survive this crazy onslaught and I've got my bishop locked in, I'm probably moving a piece. But guess what? Every single piece move loses. Like if you move any of these minor pieces, you just lose the game immediately to knight takes f7. So what a great spot for us to be in, where our opponent has to play such an anti-habits move, a move that makes no sense, instead of all these logical developing moves. But all of them lose to knight takes f7 and queen takes e6. That's just the case. Because it's always checkmate. You can try any single one of them. It's the same thing. You get killed the same way every time. And the move that our opponent did in the game, same thing every time.
Okay, we match in the center, and you probably notice like most d4 players, they are playing c4, the queen's gambit. So it's nice to just not be accepting it all the time. Those positions can be a little frustrating. Snork up, want to see what the guy's up to. Let's castle. Put our bishop here, which is something we've been doing. And remember, no knight c6, but rather knight d7. Okay. That didn't make a lot of sense. Like, we just put our knight there. Our opponent waits for our knight to get there and then takes? Like, I'm trying to understand that one. Let's take with the knight. We have two bishops. Try to keep the position a little bit more open. And, well, in this case, we actually win a pawn. So that's nice and easy. Bishop d3. We can try to attack the center here. Okay, we'll take a free piece. Okay. Can't sit here and say that was very difficult. We see the French. No problem. Oh, capture that. It is an isolated pawn here, so keeping that in mind. Can snork up here. He's going to do the same. We want to get our bishop out. And our knight going to the c3 square, much less. Instead, knight to d2 is our preferred option. And it's really about this square. If you see an isolated pawn, that already tells you basically how you're going to be playing your game. So knight b3 in order to control that square. c3 in order to control that square. Pretty much everything I do revolves around controlling the square right in front of the isolated pawn. So that's just the best way to go about blockading that thing. We have a rook to the middle that looks comfortable. Queen d7. Occupying the center looks good. Knight e5 is always a reasonable option. I kind of like, yeah, one of these two moves. If I'm occupying d4, I would always use this knight because this knight is still pretty well placed and this knight not really. Knight on b3 is only to play knight d4, but they've got a solo pawn, nothing beside it. Immediately, everything I do is about controlling that square. So let's offer a trade. It's in the center, and I also like that maybe we could take that knight at the end as well. And, oh, okay. Opponent kind of goes a little bit crazy here. Bishop takes h3. I'm not really understanding. Let's take. And I know it doesn't feel like the move that comes naturally, not the move you would play, but I stand by this idea. Like, we want knight h2 or bishop f1 to g2. It's weird, but those two moves almost always work when dealing with the queen. So I'm just going to stick with it. At least we can see, you know, bringing the bishop to g2 clearly has some good things about it. Queen is going here, attacking this pawn. But fortunately for me, it looks like I can continue my plan of bringing the knight there, which I was going to do 4 or 5 moves ago, and also block this bishop. So it feels like we're playing at a very advanced level, but we're really just utilizing all the different ideas. I mean, controlling the square in front of the pawn is definitely something I would say you remember at level 4. A bit more advanced, but once you know it, it's a pretty obvious plan. Like, every single move we did had that square in mind. We traded a knight, also weakening that square. Our opponent sacked. We go for bishop f1, which is pretty typical. Now I'm going back to this plan, which is the first thing I'm going to look for when dealing with a threat. Our opponent goes here. Honestly, there's a threat here. That's about it, right? We can bring our queen up, over. We can bring this bishop back. Almost everything looks playable here. It is a fork, so I think I'll do this one, and let's bring that bishop to g2, which is the reason we brought it to f1 in the first place. And what can we do now? We just need to finish development, like move this queen and then get a rook to the middle. h5, rook to the middle. And even though we had the opponent sack for 2 pawns in front of our king, notice how we're bringing all this like defensive firepower to our king side. It doesn't even feel like our king's that exposed here, even though it is. It seems like black's trying to play h4, but this is the thing, like, there's nothing sweeter than having an opponent that plays bishop takes h3 like that, because if you know how to handle it and you just put your bishop like this, doesn't it just start to make you think, okay, these are moves I'm not that afraid of going forward, you know? Like, maybe you were previously more bothered by these, but now it's like, give me that free material. I don't feel very threatened by these bishop h3 moves when you know how to handle them. At this point, black doesn't have a follow-up. They're just kind of making up moves, and you know, we could offer a trade, for example. But yeah, black's totally making up moves and just hoping that something works. We can double the rooks on the open file. Obviously, we've already snorked up. We don't have another one, so none of that to do. Okay, he's not interested in the queen trade. And if I was down a piece, I would also refuse the queen trade. So I definitely applaud him for that. I think I'm just gonna double the rooks because I'm not sure what else to do. Oh, okay. Pawn here. I think we'll just take the free piece. Obviously, our opponent also wins a piece here, but that's effectively a trade. Like, I'm not too bothered by that. And okay, nice little fork there for us, and that should do it. Nope, appreciate that. Oh, sorry, mouse slip. Okay, just forks on forks. The guy's giving us everything. It really is like facing e45, queen h5. When you're 400 ELO, this is the worst thing that you could see. 200 ELO, 300 ELO, 400 ELO. You hate seeing this because it's scary and you probably get mated. But when you're 2000 ELO, if someone plays this against you, it's like, okay, perfect. I just get a free good opening. So it's very much the same thing if someone's playing bishop takes h3. Like, unless he's playing this with clear follow-up and, you know, big problems, in general, I'm not that concerned by it. We know how to handle it. We take our bishop f1. We take our knight h2 if it's there. And those two moves alone are usually enough to deal with almost any sacrifice. And if those two moves are not able to deal with a sac, then it probably means it was just a good sacrifice. So they're probably the best things to try no matter what. We just safeguard our king, offer a queen trade, and the tactics just present themselves, which is going to be normal. If your opponent sacks material, of course the tactics are going to favor you if you defend successfully, because you're going to have more material. Like, I have more pieces, so of course there's going to be more tactics for me. Knight f3. I feel like we've seen this enough times that we kind of know what to expect. And d5, we've definitely played this position before. We're going to take, and oh, okay. Weird. Queen a5. I mean, it is the Sicilian, and it's still what we're talking about. So I'm still going to play d5. I know it feels a bit strange, but I stand by my recommendation. If you can achieve d5 in these Alpine Sicilians, then you should always do it. Okay, in this case, we have a nice trade. Bishop can get developed with tempo, like with a check, so I like that one. Alternatively, we could go here, but why the hell not? Right, I'm just trying to speed run my king to safety. We can develop our bishop out and say hello to the rooks in the middle. Oh yeah, I know exactly what my next moves are gonna be. Hello? Hello to you. Oh my goodness, can you believe king e6 from this guy? Nah, this is not a real thing. Oh my, look at this dude. Look at the lad. I mean, what is this? This is something that you really have to expect just is mate. Like, what is king f5 truly? First of all, if I play rook here, I can take a knight, so I'm not even losing material by giving this check. But I think we know damn well in this position here that rook e5 is going to lead to a definite win. So let's play rook e5 and remind our opponent, I mean, dude, what is that? How can you play chess like this? There's no way you're sitting there thinking on move 18 that you've got a good position, like a good thing going here. There's no way. Like, this is not real. How could you possibly be like, yeah, no, this makes sense. Yeah, more of this. Yeah.
But he must think it's a good position because, well, these were all very intentional moves. Why not king to safety, king back, right? It's a good reminder that we're never going to be safer in the center of the board with every single piece barreling down. There's a reason why we bring our pieces out before we bring our king to the center. So he's following endgame habits in the wrong order. The guy's got no development. He got pieces on the side of the board, and he's already got his king smack in the middle of the board. Well, let's continue to bring another piece into the center. A shocking game there. Well, there you go, folks. The unpaid actors at it again. E4, easy first move. Okay, we have the Caro-Kann, which means gotta remember knight f3, then knight c3. d4 is reasonably common. I wouldn't say that knight to f6 is common. I would say it's like quite uncommon. Now, for us, the annoying thing a little bit about knight to f6 is that one of the moves that is considered to be the best is e5. I do not like the move e5 at all, especially for the habit series. It closes things up. We almost always want an open center or an open position, right? Where we don't do well in like these closed types of positions. Sometimes we get them, but usually it's a little bit hard to formulate a plan in that spot. So I don't like this move, which means we're sitting here being like, okay, well, what do we do? So honestly, at this point, if we take, we're going to take back, we play d4, we're going to end up with this knight on c3. It's pretty bad. It's not what we want either. So really the only way to actually get any pieces out is going to be this for the habit series. It just has to be. What is this? Okay. h3. Bishop there. Let's get castled. We're just going to go e6. We're not interested in taking. I'm going to try to leave it there. Rook here. Okay. Success. We got all of our pieces out. What now? Anyone? Trade something? I don't know. Like trade a lot of stuff. Can't go into the center. I guess we're going back. Queen here. RPM. Red dot. I notice a lot of people talking about the diagonal red dots. I don't really apply those as much or at all. For me, red dot is really, it's something aimed straight at you. You could definitely interpret it that way, but I would say more often than not, if you are interpreting it that way, you might be making the wrong decision. Whereas if you're interpreting it this way, you'll pretty much always be making the right decision, which I happen to enjoy. We have a capture. Keep improving my knight. I mean, I'm not terribly interested in just trading for no reason, so maybe we can keep up the RPMs. Trade. There's nothing open in the middle, so the rooks are not necessarily fantastic there. Okay, the bishop's got to move. Can we do something here? Okay, we can't do much here. Let's take. Can
Can we offer a trade? We have this for our king, which is nice and safe. Trade. Okay. And we've also gonna get our king in here. We've also got a lot of light square pieces. So whether I have the bishop against the knight or the bishop against the bishop, I'll be happy. But what does that tell you? It tells you that I want to exchange for that knight, right? If I can trade that knight, I'll be pretty happy. We could establish the full light square concept. And this is what I mean. Our opponent doesn't really have a clue what he's talking about in the endgame. I see every single pawn on dark square. Now, it's not like a 100% win, but it's 100% not losing position. That's guaranteed. I would not want to play that. Okay, now definite capture and g4 again, just light squares, that's it. In this case, I think I like the capture this way so that we can try to make a pass pawn. Seems smart because these pawns are all stuck here. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do here. What do we really need to do? We need to make another threat, and he's guarding this one. So can we attack that one? Okay, and I mean, the pawns on light squares means we can just never really lose these positions, except on time, of course. I'll just make sure to clean up the pawns, and then just being the one that recognizes way back at the start of the end game that the piece we want to leave him with is the bishop, means that the end game is going to be very easy for us. Either one of these pieces, I'll trade for the knight. Either one. Because if it's this bishop against this bishop, pawns are great for me. If it's this bishop against this knight, pawns are great for me. One of the worst end games you can have is like a bishop for you and pawns on the same color. With a knight on the board, it makes it a little bit better. So I want to isolate, like I want to get rid of everything except the problem, which is the bishop. So because I know that going into the endgame, it's comfortable. I just put all my pawns on light squares. The guy walks into a trade that I want to do, and then he has a dark squared bishop, and I have every single thing on a light square. But make sure you never trade these bishops. If you trade them, then all the advantage that you have just kind of disappears. Might still be winning, but for the most part, I would look to keep these bishops on the board probably the entire time. Pawn to e4. Okay, we got a Sicily. C3. PFT to win. PFT for 2K. Damn. Well, you know, we tried our best. We tried our best, ladies and gentlemen. Well, at the very least, we can play the opening the way that we always set it up. I've said every single time we played the Sicilian, if you can play d5 when the knight is on c6, do it. That's my advice. It's usually a very good thing to gain that space. And okay, the guy goes here, let's take it. Takes back, can bring the knight out. I've talked a few times about how it doesn't always make sense to take here because you're kind of helping him develop. So I will just bring the knight. Bishop getting developed. Okay, we can go for the pin. This and this were not very attractive options, so I think this one makes good sense for us. Let's snork up here, h3. Obviously keeping that pin. Okay. B5. I think we want to finish our development if possible. This bishop I'd like to have on a slightly better square than we do. Maybe this. Queen can come out. It's just not. It's not great on. Not great on e2. Okay, bishop there, huh? Rook e8. Hey, rook d1, rook e1. I got easy moves to make. Notice how I'm just not taking this. Okay, you see the move g5. It's bound to happen. It's kind of tough not to do it, honestly. If you're my opponent here, he takes, take back. Okay, we take, and is this a very nice looking tactic here? It looks like a very nice looking tactic here. Just bishop into the middle. You're telling me we might hit 2K with a bishop into the middle tactic? Yes, indeed. Respectfully, get him out of here. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. The habits took us all the way up to 2,000. That's a lot of thousands. 2 of them. 2,000 achieved. We had to beat a 2,000 to get there. Of course. We had to do it in the avocado hoodie. Level 1 habits. We'll get you started in chess. We'll take you up to 700. Level 2. Pretty much level 1 plus tactics. That's how you get going. That's how the gears really start turning as a chess player. Take you up to 1100. Level 3, working on your openings, expanding your horizons, playing a bit more active. Some advanced tactics will take you up to 1600. And then level 4, which is putting it all together, maybe in a different order. Maybe not always using the snorkel early, recognizing there's some dangerous moments there too, adding a bit of opening theory, and most importantly, pawn weaknesses, bishop versus knight, color complexes, rook endgames, and most importantly, pre-moving at the end of the game and not resigning. Are you kidding me? How many games did we collect points from for not resigning ourselves? Numerous. How many did we collect points from because our opponents resigned? Numerous. It all adds up. We have like 200 points out of our 2,000 just from that. Basic checkmate patterns. You gotta know them. Work on them as you level up in habits. If you can't remember what they all are, every single checkmate that you need to know and how to do it, the slow way and the very impressive quick way with pre-moves, are all included in the checkmate course. That's right, I already have a course on this, even before we did the habits.